podcast. You got your boy here, the Hood Motivator. Thank you, Los Angeles Tribune, for just tuning in and tapping in with me and bringing me onto your fold. Thank you for signing me to the Los Angeles Tribune podcasting. They just launched a podcasting division, and I'm a California kid, and they brought me on board. Retired military, doctor in business, master in business. I appreciate you. Thank you, chat. Thank you, community. Thank you, new followers. Thank you, old followers. I appreciate you. Hey, it's time to motivate, and I got a great motivator that I just brought to the motivators table. It's Coach T. It's someone who I grew up with as a kid, a retired military veteran, Marine veteran, now coaching the community and active in his community and giving back to these kids. We want to be on the stage Coach T, Terry Alexander, former veteran, retired Marine Corps veteran. Thank you. What's up, Coach T?
Hey, what's going on, Dr. J, man? I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes,
Thank you for
man.
reaching out and just bringing me to the table.
Definitely. I want you to pull up a seat real quick. I know you in Arizona time frame, you know what I'm saying? But I was impelled just to hit you up this morning and say, hey, I want to put you on my podcast. We want to go live. I want to put you on LinkedIn. I want to put you on YouTube. I want to spotlight you. That's what God is telling me to do, to go around season 3, 4, and 5 virtually and just spotlight all our heroes, all of our motivators, all our people that are being the message that they bring. What's up, Terry? Can you tell me who you are at your essence, as your inner child, where you come from before you joined the Marines?
Man, that's crazy. We have a similar story. Obviously, we share that a lot. But before the Marine Corps, that child that I was a child without a mother, uh, gifted with a great family, a father that stepped in to take care of me, had a choice. He chose to take care of me and raise me. I grew up in North Long Beach after Houston, Texas. And 67th Way and Gale Avenue is where it all started, around the corner from Delta. Uh, very humble upbringing, very, very, very humble life. You were there. You seen some of it. You seen
Yeah,
most of it. You seen all of it.
definitely. I was right there with you as a kid growing up, man. How did you like your childhood?
They say hindsight's 2020. You know, as a kid, you don't really understand. They say kids don't understand what's going on. However, I was a little more mature due to the lifestyle that I grew up in with my mom. And at 43, a few years ago, I would have told you I had a hard lifestyle. My lifestyle was rough. It was tough. But recently, no, man, I'm blessed. I had a perfect lifestyle. I had a perfect childhood. Those were the cards I was dealt. I'm learning now in my walk and in my calling and in my purpose with God that that journey that I went on really wasn't just for me by myself, but it's for these kids, these young men that I'm coaching from ages 10 all the way up to high school right now. There's so many replications of my story with missing pieces of my story, and some of them are so close to my story. So I've learned to appreciate my childhood because it was a gift given to me to share with the world.
And definitely, man, I love the fact that you brought that up with sharing your childhood and things that you got going on, man. And coming from Long Beach, we both from Long Beach, both in the same neighborhood. Grew up with a bunch of boys in our neighborhood, running back and forth, doing things we wasn't supposed to be doing, but now we here. We met each other as kids in our single digits, and we became like brothers, best of friends. It's been what 39 years of friendship, 38, 39
Yeah.
years of friendship of us from California and everything like that. And I want to tell the world here on my platform, and God gave me my platform, and everything like that is, you know, um, when I was going through a lot of my hard times, you know what I'm saying. I thought it was just me. Then I found out that Terry, he had lost his mom of AIDS too, and we both shared a story together that we could say, you know what, you're not the only one. Because sometimes when you lose a parent at that early age, you isolate it. You think it's just you. You think you just say, you know what, that's it. And a lot of people, me and Terry, we talked about this the other day. They didn't even know all the stuff we went through because we was raised in a house where we couldn't take that outside the house. So now that we talk about it, and I talk about it publicly, I get in front of my ugly. Some of the homies, some of the friends, some of the people that know us, that thought they knew us, they don't believe the story. and it's hard for them to believe because we never talked about it. And a lot of our friends and families, they grew up with both their parents, so it was hard for them to fathom that we lost one of our parents and it was that bad for us. Lucky for us, we had a strong man in our life. I had my father, you had your grandfather, you had your dad, you had somebody that can help you navigate that course. Can you talk about who I'm going to, Reverend Garvey, who had played a pivotal life as
Mm.
a mentor and a father, as a black man, a bohemian man that came from what I'm saying, a glorious, what I'm saying, tribe where he come
So,
from.
man, that's a gift and a curse. My older brother. Thank you for asking that question.
Yeah.
Because without him, my older brother James and I, we often talk in our later years, and we just remind each other that he kind of saved our lives not once but twice. Um, he had a choice. Dr. Garvey is a descendant of the late great Marcus Garvey. He's Bahamian. He grew up under the British rule, had a very disciplined, firm teaching. I don't think we smiled and joked until I was 2 years into the Marine Corps. One would say, man, that's horrible, but I loved every bit of it. This man gave me the golden ticket to life. Like if if life was really Willy Wonka's chocolate factory, his golden ticket was the fear of God. He put the fear of God in all of us, not by force, but by example, by his servant leadership, his selfless dedication to the community, to the family, to families outside of ours. Without him, my life is I know where my life would have been. It'd have been in the backwoods of Florida in a bad situation in 1988, 1989 due to segregation and all of that. So yeah, thank you for bringing up Dr. Garvey, man. You got to see him and some highlights and some lowlights when we were growing up, man. For real, you got to see him, man, get on me for messing up. He was there to show us praise and everything. James and I was just talking about the one time he all took us to the church. I don't think you remember me, you, Shem, uh, all of us. We all, Cal, we all played basketball against one of his church buddies' teams,
Mm.
and he was so proud of that moment to where he could take both younger and older sons to go play basketball and represent the city of Compton. So yeah, he played a pivotal role in my life, man, and I aim only to make him proud as a man, as a husband, as a father.
I love that. I love the fact, and that's why that's why we're sitting down at the motivators table, because we want to see where you got your source of motivation from. And at an early age, that was Dr. Garvey, that instilled in you them lessons. And a lot of people would say, Dr. Garvey, Bishop McIntyre, they were mean, and I used to hate my dad, and I used to wonder why he did the things he did. But guess what? Fast forward 44 years, I'll be 45 in July. Man, I can't thank him enough. I think the world needs more of Dr. Garvey's, more of Bishop McIntyre's, to be in these neighborhoods, policing these kids and showing them right from wrong. Because after our generation, generation after that, them YNs are lost. And I
Gone.
applaud you not to jump before the Marines, what you did with the Marines, but what you're doing now to put yourself, continue to raise your children and your little Terry and your girls, but also not just coaching basketball. You went from little league football to high school football. Let's talk about Coach T now. But before we talk about Coach T and we jump to that chapter, I want to talk about your military experience in the Marines. You influenced me, and I told you the other day. You didn't know. I don't know if you was over there crying on the phone. I can't see you, but I told you you influenced me to join the Marine. I mean, join the military. I came back. They was like, Terry's going. Terry's going where? Because in the neighborhood, I mean, you wasn't active like that. We played, but you de-escalate a lot of stuff, and I had to learn that in maturity late. I was a hothead. I was out there with everything, whatever they wanted to do. But you were, hey, you know what? You are a de-escalator, and that's what a real true king is. And you was being raised to become that true king. So when you left to the Marines, I was kind of like, damn, he didn't tell me. I got to go do something with my life. And I think about a year or two later, I joined the United States military after I got out of county jail. Can we talk about the Marines and what made you go into the Marines and what made you stay so long? Let's talk about the experience you had.
Oh shit. North Long Beach, man. You was either gonna gang bang, sell dope, play sports, and none of those was in my cards. Uh, I got my transcripts in my bag right now, and I keep them with me. Ninth and 10th grade, I failed every class, not because I was ignorant or stupid. It's because the neighborhood chaos. In that era, well, that was late 90s. That was 90, 99, 98, 99, going into 2000 when I was in high school, and it was blacks versus Mexicans and everything. And we had to make something of ourselves. And when we moved from North Long Beach due to gang violence to Bellflower, y'all had all graduated. Y'all would come back. Y'all would pull up on me at the house, and I was still in school. And what made me go to the Marine Corps was I wanted to be the best in everything that I could be in life. And I had already screwed up. And one day I was ditching class, and the Marine was there, and I said, "Hey, I want to be a Marine." And he told me, "Nah, you stupid. You a dummy, dog. We don't take dummies." And I was like, "What? I ain't no damn dummy." But he was right at the time. I was an absolute fool. I went into high school with a 3.83 and got to high school and failed every class except ROTC and drawing. And on paper, I was a dummy. I proved to them that I was a dummy. But Staff Sergeant Pedraza challenged me, and Pops, Dr. Garvey, told me one day, "You got to make something of yourself. You're not going to be selling dope, abusing drugs, gang banging, or tearing down the family like you've seen in the past." And I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "What you gonna do?" I said, "I don't know." Came back a few months. I said, I'm gonna be a Marine." Long story short, I joined the Marine Corps. Um, People often say, "Why didn't you quit?" We wasn't raised to quit. We wasn't raised to quit. We didn't. What we gonna quit and go back to? What I'm gonna quit and go back to? Nothing. So I joined the Marine Corps. I loved every bit of it. I did 15 years, 9 months, and 25 days. Um, all I ever aspired to be was the greatest Marine I could be. I never wanted to be nothing more, nothing less. Um, Worked on guns, Jr. Seen the world, man. Traveled 12 strong. The movie 12 strong. I was there. Wrote history. It's in the books. Me and my guys. I was the only Marine in the Special Forces compound. Uh, Deployed twice. Went to Iraq. Took 4 or 5 Marines there. Brought them all back home. Specialty MOS was armory, working on guns. So every infantryman relied on us to make sure bullets flew down range when they pulled the trigger. Uh, Shit, man, Marine Corps. I can't tell you enough. You know, you know how the military is, man. I went to the Marine Corps because I wanted to be the best, and I proved to everybody that I was the best at what I was going to be, the best version of me. That's where I'm at right now, leading into the next chapter of Coach T.
I love that, and I love the fact that each one teach one. You left, and then I left, and I wish many more would have left after us. And I always feel guilty for a certain one that I left behind, and I couldn't explain. I just needed to get up out of there. I needed a place to stay. I needed somewhere to eat. I was home. My dad made me homeless. He was hard on me. People
Right,
don't know that side of the story. Like I was sleeping around the corner at Chaz's house for a few months because my people put me out because I wouldn't I wouldn't listen. I was rebelling. You know what I'm saying? I was doing everything that I wasn't supposed to be doing, and my dad made a lesson out of me. And he said, he had got married after I graduated from high school, and I remember I walked all the way home from graduation in my cap and gown, crying because there was no celebration. There was none of that stuff. Like it was no
none of
dinner
it.
or we take you to Sizzlers or every. I seen other kids and other families do that, but my dad he had to get back to work. You know what I'm saying? Like he got one kid over the hump. It was time for him to try to help hit my older sister and stuff like that. I was the first high school graduate that from my side of the family from him. And it was there was little to none celebration growing up where we was from. We talked about the bikes that people got and the one basketball court and all that stuff. And I remember going through holidays and at Christmas, and there was no gifts under the tree, and that helped me when I got to the military because some days we were deployed on holidays and there was no celebration. It was like get the mission, do the work, do what
Right.
you do. So the military taught us a bunch of stuff, how to travel around the world, but also it raised us maturity level. You know what I'm saying? And we have some of the similar stories, even in the Marines. You know what I'm saying? I commend you for just going to the Marines and sticking it out 15 years and doing what you had to do. And then I followed suit, did what I had to do. And at the end of the day, look where we at right now. And I'd be damned if I don't say that the army saved my life. The army saved my life. I wouldn't be here right now, even podcasting, if I didn't do what I needed to do in the military and make it out of there, mentally and physically alive to come tell these stories because they don't think kids like us can be intelligent like that and do what we did. So I want to say on my platform, I'm proud of you, man, for being a United States Marine, being a veteran, being a stand up in your community, loving your family, and being an example of what you know what I'm saying, men and fatherhood. What are we supposed to do? A lot of men we don't celebrate each other because it's usually hatred in that situation, or it's jealousy, or we tell you so much to a point to where what I'm saying, we don't want you to do better than us. You know my heart, bro. You know
Yep.
how I've been. You know me. What I do is make sure, right, in our chat rooms, I pray for all of us, but I put people in positions to win, and I don't have like I'm me. There only can be me. You know what I'm saying? And for
True.
I don't think we have some of the same mutual friends that some people took time to even to learn us, let alone love us. We took to each other, me, you, and a certain many of us, to learn and love. You know what I'm saying? Some people just say, "Okay, I know you so long, you are a friend, but you don't know me.
Yeah.
You don't learn me. You don't love me." And I knew everybody's family. I was cool with everybody, so I learned and I loved them. But I had to understand growing up and getting to where I'm at right now. And after a few trials and tribulations, um, there wasn't a lot of love. There was just, hey, let me see if he's going to do something that I can't do. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate you for just being in my corner and being my friend, and you driving from state to state, and you stopping by, seeing me. And we made time for each other. We held space. And I
Yeah.
appreciate you. And we talk about it all the time and the struggles that, what I'm saying, we have, man. And I want to be able to hit on, too, you as a father. How did that make you feel when you knew you was going to become a father, you know?
Uh, that's a tough one. That humbled me. So I'm 25. I'm running the world. I'm a Marine. The love of my life bumped back into my life, and we get married. And a year later, we have a kid. Well, we're blessed with a daughter. I asked God when my wife got pregnant. I said, God, in the absence of my mother, please give me a daughter to show that she's proud of me and it'll grow me up. And that's been the greatest challenge and the greatest reward ever, being a father. While you're in the military, man, you grind so hard for their peace, the sacrifice you make is for them, and you lose a lot of time. God allowed me to fight the country's battles and still keep my family intact by giving me the time that I lost back. And my oldest daughter, we talk about it all the time, bro. She's such a blessing. She always talk about, Daddy, you using your free will. You doing such a good job using your free will. Look how they're exercising their free will to the fullest today. So being a father has taught me to be a better man. It's taught me to slow down, be humble, be kind. Uh, the Bible says, honor your father and your mother so that your days shall be long. Although my mother is gone, I strive to honor her, to lengthen the time on this earth with my children. So being a father, man, that really shaped me, JR. That really shaped me. That sat me down. My baby girl, and then obviously Samantha and Terry. Terry is coming into this moment to where he's showing me who I was as a kid. That little boy you hung out with, that little boy was bad as hell. Woo! We were some hellions, man. I remember me and you. Shit, you ran right, I ran left. I got caught, you didn't. Got my ass whooped, you didn't. You came back, and we never ran from the police again together. Like now my kid, my kid is taking out the neighbor's trash can
Mm.
religiously, so he don't have to at 87, 89 years old. My kid is, he asked me, Dad, can we just sit down at the church on Sundays and read the Bible as a family? That's that's what being a father is for me right now. My kids they have the fear of God
Mm.
because they go to church every Sunday. and it wasn't forced on them. So
I love
father
that.
changed, being father changed me, Jr. Thank you for that question.
I love that, man. And that's these are the real questions of the motivators right here. This is what we want to hear. I remember I was forced to go into the military because I had Jaden, and I was the first out of our neighborhood to have a kid young, and I was scared, and I didn't know what to do, but I know I needed to do something. And you hit it right on the head. She forced me to grow up. Shout out to Jaden McIntyre, my daughter, my oldest. She's 25. She forced me to say, you know what you gonna do? You gonna be mature. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't easy being a single father and a young father of my daughter being raised in Long Beach, California, in Compton with her mother, and we didn't see eye to eye. So it was a struggle. You know my struggles. You know how I fought. I didn't run from it. I never ran from fatherhood. It was just that it wasn't how it was explained to me, and I was trying to do the best I can as a young man to be there for her. But I will tell you, fatherhood never stops because that girl, that woman right now, is one of my best friends. She talks to me. She actually is my manager of my brand, the Hood Motivator. Books my speeches, my podcast, my runs my social media page. That's why it's popping like it is.
It's great.
She does everything that she needs to do to put me in position. And her last name was different, and she came to me about a year or two ago and said, "Dad, I want to change my name, so I want to be just like my brothers and sisters." And she is the oldest. And I said, "Look at God. You can never stop being a father." And I would never stop. I love it. I love my children to death. And at the end of the day, it catapulted me to being a more mature man and make sure I understand
Yeah.
them and hold space for
Yeah.
them and their little hearts. When we were little, none of our words were valuable unless somebody got hurt. And
Yeah.
but we were so intelligent, like the little rascals. We would talk to each other. We man, you know, we was talking the other day, and like I said, if some people took the time to learn us, they would know that I would go to the east side of Long Beach and learn so many bad habits and bring it right back to the north side of Long Beach and terrorize the people around me. And I was small. I wasn't 220, 5'8", 5'9". I wasn't that. I was small. You saw me. We was both. But you know my temperature. I was mad. I was angry because my mother died, and everybody had moms, and I didn't have a mom, and I was first to take off first to jump in some fights and all this stuff, and I had an anger problem. I hated the world. I hated everything, and people thought because I was nice to them that I was a nice. I wasn't a nice person at all. I would wait for people to do something stupid so I can react to it. But other than that, I wasn't picking it. But I just had so much fire lit, and shout out to my father for just trying to keep it, you know what I'm saying, under
True.
wraps. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Dr. Garvey. Shout out to your brothers. Shout out to James. Shout out to even Kassan. Shout out to all of them that was older than us, that showed us even the wrong things to do. Because once we saw the
Yes.
wrong things to do, we knew not to do that right there, not to go that way. You know what I'm saying? And me and you both, you know, we from Long Beach, and it's a popular city, but people forget about the north side, and we rep it well. Everywhere I go, I wear my crown. I wear my Long Beach crown. Everywhere I go, I put that on the map and let people know, hey, this is where I'm from. This is what I'm doing. Yes, I'm articulate. Yes, I'm smart. Yes, I went into the military. And my dad said, there's two things that they can't take from a black man. That's your education, and that's your military experience. You get them
Yep.
both, you can enter any room, and you're going to show out as long as you use your gift. And when he said that, because my dad he don't have a military experience, he don't have an education. Guess what my dream is? Once I make it to where I'm going, and he's retiring in 2 years, I'm going to pay for him to get his bachelor's degree. But he told me that. So when I was able to go through my hard time, I was like, go get your master's, boy. Why are you tripping? You didn't know business anyway.
Yeah.
People making fun of you. They ain't even started a business. Yeah, you went bankrupt. Yeah, you was public about it. Yeah, it hurt. Yeah, you got people who turned on you. Go get your master's. But don't stop there. Go get your doctorate. Now I'm in a tribe of all our friends, or 18 friends in that chat room, where I might be the only one that obtained a doctor's degree, not because I want to throw it in people's face, because it doesn't look like it should come from us. And we don't get told that we need to
Right.
face these certain situations. I'm not saying education is for
Right.
everybody, but tell you what, I stayed the longest. That's about it. And I commend you because we share this knowledge. And you were in school picking up a trade. You picked up the coaching stuff with the veterans. You're doing everything good, man. Can you tell me about that coaching class that you went through? I think it was it what's it called, behind the line? What was that coaching class that you went
Oh,
to?
it was Soldiers to Sidelines. So I was scheduled to go to a seminar, and it was at the height of like we just went. It was man, I wasn't even able to get in it, so I have to rotate over to the next one. But a buddy of mine went to it, and he was like, "Oh man, they were screaming your name on there, asking for you to chime in. Had connectivity issues, and then in the middle of the season, we hit the playoff run, and I didn't really get a chance to take advantage of the seminar, but a lot of the literature I've been reading, and then just coaching. So how I got into coaching is my son wanted to play football, and I took him out there, and they were coaching the kids, and then I realized, like, wait a minute, these kids aren't listening to nobody. There's no discipline, and if you don't have no discipline, somebody's gonna get hurt. So I went out there and I said, hey, I'll help you coach. I don't know much, but I'll help you coach. Took the humble road. You know my background too with sports and everything. JR, man, we played in the streets. Some of y'all played high school ball, basketball, football. Everybody know my older brother. It's no secret. He was the one of the best, if not the best, athlete in North Long Beach to never come out of North Long Beach due to his choices, his decisions. But if you ask, the likes of OJ, a Hall of Famer in the University of Arizona, he'll tell you right now that number two Jordan High was the truth and was the reason why he catapulted. So following his footsteps and going into high school, I didn't have that opportunity because I squandered it with grades. All of that, all of my sports endeavors and everything up in the Marine Corps. You've seen some of it. You heard about most of it. We cross paths sometimes in service. Other people have. And then post all of that service, man, my kid wanted me to coach. I got out there and I fell in love with it. The kids gravitated towards me. And I was just out there being a big old kid because you remember North Long Beach, who came back? Who came back? Who took us to Compton College? We used to break into Compton College to play basketball.
Right.
People, I tell these kids I'm coaching basketball right now. They're in the gym practicing JR. I tell them all the time, y'all, I come at 5 in the morning for some of them to shoot around. They say, Coach, why you always here? I said, because if I'm not, where you gonna be? You're gonna be in the streets. You're gonna be doing something stupid, son. I
Mm.
gotta be here. When I was a kid, I had to break into the gym to play basketball. We had to break into the college to go swimming.
Man, we
You
had
know
to
what I'm
steal
saying?
to
We
go
had to
swim. Steal to go swim. That's crazy,
we had to
man.
steal. We had to do crazy stuff just to be a kid, and nobody was really pouring back into the community. So now for me, I see this. They're the coach I never had, man. I've been coaching for over 20 something years. Going to the military, you a coach right out the gate, and everybody forget that you can coach sports X's and O's, man, but everybody can't coach life. Everybody can't coach the kids' attitudes, the kids' demeanor. Everybody is not relatable, approachable. God just blessed me, man, and that leads us to this moment to where I'm just trying to walk upright, righteously in my purpose. You got to see it. I'm so grateful that you witnessed it and captured some stuff that I'm very humble. I don't put a lot of stuff out there, and this is the moment for me to, like you said, bet on yourself and go all in so that the world will see that you know there's good out there. These kids need to see that there's good out there.
Definitely,
Um,
definitely.
Coaching is a blast, JR.
This is your
Coaching is a blast right now.
I know, and this is your coming out season. That's why I said, let me reach back and grab another motivator that I know, that I grew up with, that I saw transition, that I saw when you came to Florida, and my perception on the outside of the football field was I thought you were the head coach, and that's just the energy you were screaming, but you wasn't. You was just a assistant of the assistant, and I told you right then and there.
Just tying shoes, right? I was just there to tie shoes and
Yeah,
hang out, man. Just make
that's
sure the
it.
kids have fun.
Right. But then I
It's
told you,
my
I said, hey,
story, and I'm sticking to it.
this is your lane. You coach. You need to coach. And you had doubts because people was like, oh, he didn't play. Or it doesn't matter. If you have a love for the kids, you have a knowledge. Not every superstar player makes a good coach. It takes someone who observed the game, who learned it, who understands it, and who is willing to teach the right and show your style. And that's what you are doing right now. And I told you when I saw that, I said, hey, I can see you on the college, on the high school, on the NFL level. And right after that, you catapulted to going more into football coaching. Then you went into high school coaching, and you won some I think a championship, and all these things
Kids
that
won a championship.
yes, that you were doing, and I was just on the sideline just applauding you, and it was crazy because again, it goes back to the love and the learn we have for each other. I didn't never stop learning or loving you. I said, you know what, let me figure this out. When I was going through my hard times, a lot of the homies switched on me because they didn't know that side of the story. You stood right. You always been like that. Like I said, since you were little, you were never quick to take off. You would think about it like, well, I don't think he deserved to get his ass whooped today. But now saying that, that's what a lot of us should have had. And you had my back in rooms where I wasn't even there. To some of the homies I introduced you that never grew up raised with us, and I appreciate it because not to get emotional, I have a good heart, and a good heart don't pay bills. And it's sad to say
That
that
shit don't.
people don't think they know us. They put their own stories in their head. And when we say the story, it's like, damn, this nigga Terry, this nigga JR, they grew up. They didn't tell us all this. No, like we couldn't get every shoe. We didn't eat every night. My mama, like, she was in a halfway house, so sometimes I couldn't go outside. Not because I made excuses, because I had to clean. I had to go see this lady on Skid Row. I had to go. You know what I'm saying? Those I didn't want to come back, niggas, because you knew that. You knew
Right.
that people would joke and laugh and do all these things, and it's like, come on. And chat, you hear me. You hear my passion. You hear my tone switch. I'm not professional, but I'm talking to my homie that I grew up over 35, 30, 37 years. You hear my
Yeah.
rhetoric. You hear our pain. You hear our
Yeah.
passion. Anybody that's listening to us, y'all know Terry. You know JR. You knew we was inseparable growing up. You knew our neighborhood. You knew we lived right there on the border of Compton and Long Beach, and we protected it with our life, who we were. And on the other side of the boulevard, yeah, I would go do some crazy things because I was from a certain situation. And on the east side, I would do what I had to do. But at the end of the day, when I came back, I protected our little spot where my grandma bought that house where your grandma stay at right there, and I never
Yep.
deviated. I never wanted to be from nowhere else but North Long Beach. And I appreciate you for just you carried that with you everywhere you go. You talk about Long Beach and you talk about the Raiders everywhere you go. You've been a Raider fan since we was a little boy. You've been since we was catching football on the streets, playing sideline pop on little streets and getting ran into cars. And you, it was crazy. We were like little heroes out there. And I believe if we was a little, we had a little bit more guidance and a little bit more. I don't know, man. Back then they wanted
If we had this social media platform today,
not
our
not even that. If
we
we
would have been the realest. We'd have been the realest reality TV show, the realest episodes ever. It would have been raw, rugged, and uncut. It would have really gave people
and
the way to go.
and if we was believing in ourselves and had confidence and had people to
Yeah.
tell us that we could do it, we would have been on that football field. I was hands down the best running
Yes.
back in North Long Beach, but I didn't have,
Yes.
and I still bet that because when I went to go transition that into organized sports, I didn't play little with them guys. I played on the east side. So they didn't know me, and I was
Yeah.
very small, but I had heart. I could play. I was strong. You saw me run over people. So, but God didn't have that
Me and
for me.
you went head up. You ran me over. Me and you went head up. You ran me over, and I was like, "This is ridiculous. This shit hurts." You know what I'm saying? But like, once it hurt once, it was over with.
Yeah.
Man,
Hey, shout out to
man,
James.
Jr.
Shout out to James. James made us unscared
Yeah,
to be
that's my
take
big. That's my big bro right there.
big brother. James ran me over. I thought my head was gonna fall off, and he just had on a helmet. A
Just a
helmet.
helmet. He
He
still.
didn't
We
even
laugh
he
about
didn't
that all
charge
the
for me.
time.
I ran towards him, and he didn't even move.
He just said, "Boom." He said, "Boom." That's when I knew. I'm like, all right. That's why I became real fast. That's why I really did. And I wish. I seriously wish I would have had an opportunity, like you said. We would have just had an opportunity that I've tried to get these kids today, Jr. Man, I know. I know you put us on this on the platform to explain it. The reason why I do what I do today is because everything we went through and been through. I joined the Marine Corps, and they was like, "Who's your hero? Who's your mentor?" I was like, "I don't believe in nobody. I believe in Jesus Christ. I don't believe in no man. I never had a hero. I never had a mentor growing up. It just wasn't. That shit wasn't real to us. Christmas, we knew the real Christmas. We knew all the real holidays. The one thing I wish I would have had is a coach, because what I've learned is once you have a coach, you can constantly overcome all challenges and hurdles. I'll say that again. Once you have a good coach
A good
for the
coach.
rest of your life, you will be able to constantly overcome all challenges and hurdles. And I strive every day to be a better version of the coach I was yesterday, and I'm still growing. You
Mm,
know, I get these kids the raw, rugged, uncut stuff, the stuff that other coaches are afraid to give them. You know, I'm telling them they're making dumb decisions because nobody told me I was making dumb decisions, like you just said. You know how many dumb decisions made? Nobody helped me correct. I had to self-correct. You know how hard that is? How late in the game you blossom when you have to self-correct?
mm.
I just don't want these kids to miss out on what we missed out on. Does that make sense? You know what
And
I'm saying?
it makes a lot of sense, and and that's why God. And we talk about this all the time, and we're gonna get into it real quick. I saw you on that football field, and people don't know that me and you both we suffer with depression, anxiety, PTSD, TBI, a lot of stuff that we dealt with from the military, and for a while we are going to our hole and we don't want to do anything. And at a point in time, you didn't want to even leave the house. So once you started to leave your house, and I saw you, and I was already motivated and speaking, I looked at you. I said, "This is your gift. God told me to tell you to activate your gift." He was like, "Well," I said, "No, bro. I thought you was. You didn't tell me. You told me to come down for a football game. So you left it wide open for me to even have my own perception. And when I saw it in the field, I said, Terry, no, no, no. Like, what? You look like the head coach. You giving speeches, you talking, you tying shoe, and everybody on the outside think Terry, before he's coach, is the coach. And this is how God wanted you to activate your gift because you invited me to come, and then I saw it. Then I spoke life into you. I poured into you, and then I was like, bro, that's your lane. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember me doing it with my son and navigating all that stuff. And after a while, it's like that. Okay, I'm done with that. But this is your gift. I see how you
I
motivate,
can't get away from it.
how you talk to the boys, how they gravitate to you, how they understand you. You are a true coach's coach, and they deserve to have you, and you deserve to be there. And I want to tell you right now on the motivators table, man, don't listen to nobody else, man. This is what God wants you to do. Run with it. That's why
Yes,
I put
sir.
that's why I put you on the motivators table. This ain't no. This is a podcast that's sponsored by Los Angeles Tribune. We on Spotify and Apple. We live right now. I'm pouring life into you, brother.
I got you.
This is what God wanted me to tell you this morning. I woke up with you on my mind. Let me put Terry. I don't know what you got going on, but stop what you're doing for 45 minutes and let me pour into you. Let's sit up. Let's pull a seat up and let me pour this into you because when you done, you're gonna be able to run through that wall, boom, and show them kids. Guess what, kids? I got some. I'm powered back up. It's the year of the reset, the year of the harvest. Every seed, Terry, that you done put in since you done retired from the military, every seed is about to blossom today. It's about to blossom this year. It's about to go up, and you already seeing it right now. We're not going to talk about what you got going on right now. Well, you already seeing it. You don't have to tell me anything. I see it, and I'm your cheerleader. I'm proud of you because I know the struggles when you didn't have no refrigerator. I know the struggles when you have to live. Yeah, come on, we're not gonna go there. We like people think because we disabled and we military veteran, and we go through our things. We go through a lot of our financial issues that we wasn't taught as kids how to handle certain things. And guess what? When we go down, we the only people we can depend on. Either me or you, or just me by myself. We can't go to nobody else because people are talking, but they don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, it's like now that we have heart and we have mind and we have body, we have soul, and God is leading you. God is aligning you to tell and put and pour into anybody that you touch. That God says that's the person. Them kids are the kids. How do you feel about like going there, like you said, opening up that gym, transitioning from football to basketball? Because when you say coach, people label it. Oh, I'm a coach this, coach that. No, you are a pure coach. Period. And now that guy, you said you wanted to be a speaker and you want to be doing this for the kids. Here's your platform. Tell me about it.
It's just a humbling experience to be a coach because I could pull up countless threads between kids to tell you they appreciate me. I could do all of that boasting and bragging, but that just ain't me. That ain't never been me. Um, for you to say I'm a coach's coach, a lot of people say that. That comes with praise and that comes with jealousy. Um, jealousy is a real it's a real weapon. It's a real tool used by Satan. God gave me this gift to coach, so it's not for me to misuse and abuse anymore. In the coaching world, you do a lot of things. It comes with a lot of negative conduct, a lot of negative conduct. Coaches are labeled as some of the biggest uh, adulterers, some of the biggest scandalous people behind the scenes. They frauds, all of that. And you get into this world, you learn that some are like that and some aren't like that. And when you told me that was when you saw me in Florida, I was just chilling, man, loving the kids. A family asked me to go so their kid could go. And the gentleman I went out there with, great, great, great gentlemen. They're great coaches, great guys. I would never talk bad about them, opposite of what they would do with me. However, to this day, I still give them the shirt off my back. But it is what it is. Those guys you saw me coaching with, I was the assistant to the assistant, but I embraced it. I wanted to be that. I took pride in being the assistant because behind the scenes is where it all happens, is where it all comes together. And you need somebody that's willing to do the dirty work and willing to tie the shoes, willing to get the kid out of his tears, willing to get the kid, that's not athletically gifted, willing to talk him up, willing to get the kid to be a better athlete that's got all the talent. Everybody don't have that ability. Everybody don't have the level of crash out and no crash out. They don't know how to balance that. I'm a big crash out. I done fought coaches, choke coaches, tried to choke refs on behalf of the kids, man. Nothing because of me, all behalf of the kids. But I've learned to calm down and quiet the storm. A lot of the young men I coach, I see them every Sunday in church. They know I go to church. I know they go to church. We don't ever talk about God. I just show up because I read a book one time, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. God didn't do too much talking. He did a lot of walking around, touching people. Jesus was a servant. His leadership style was servant leadership. So he gave me this gift, and we're supposed to be Christ-like. So coaching is just my testimony for my love to God. Second to that is, this is second to my family. I don't have the Marine Corps no more, Jr. That was my baby. I love that. That was what I got married to. That taught me how to be a coach. I've coached people off the ledge of suicide, all of that. So when you say a coach is coach, it came from 20 years of learning, of late nights, you know. But this was all the seed was planted in all of those late night church visits with pops, communion visits to the projects. We in the projects. Everybody know my brother a Crip, so we can't go nowhere gang banging because everybody know. And my pops walking through the projects, doing the Lord's work. So for me, I'm just humble, man, that God gave me a second chance to be a better man because I almost blew it. I almost threw my family away. I almost threw my life away with suicidal thoughts, through depression. You talked about it. This shit ain't easy. Being a good man is easy.
Mm,
Being a righteous man is hard as fuck.
man, talk about it.
And I jumped out. I jumped off the ledge. I think this was like 2 years ago. And me and you had a conversation. I said, I'm tired. I'm tired of living right. I'm ready to live righteous.
Right.
And me and you talked, and you was like, I see you. Go ahead. You pushed me. You pushed me. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Now I don't go nowhere without my Bible in my backpack. I put the guns in the safe because I was ready to shoot a motherfucker in the face
Mm,
and lose it all. So I put the guns in the safe, changed the code, and put the Bible in the backpack.
there we go.
That's my weapon of choice because this ain't about flesh and blood no more, Dr. JR. This platform you got us on, it ain't about me and you. It ain't about the tangible. It's about the intangible.
Mm,
God is allowing us to tell our stories and our testimonies because He kept us. It ain't
mm,
nothing me or you did. God kept us.
nothing.
You know, through
Mm,
those prayers, your grandmother's prayers, your pop's prayers, my pop's prayers, all them elderly people we used to go help.
right.
When
Come on.
when they laughed at me when I couldn't play on Saturdays, I was walking to the church to clean the pews.
Yeah.
I was walking to the church to cut the grass and sweep it up, and you was the only one like, damn, you got to go over there and clean up, man. Damn, I'd be having to do that too. That's why I went to help you with the bricks in the backyard. That's why you wasn't reluctant when Pop said, "Can you get some of your friends to go help?" And we was cleaning up and we was doing, feeding the homeless and stuff. All of those seeds was planted.
Man, to now.
So my journey to sum this up, if I could give it to you, you asked about this coaching.
Yeah, let's sum it up.
Coach T, Coach T is the epitome of what I went through. I once told somebody, uh, you know, TEAM. I'm a teammate. Together, everybody achieves the mission. But if you break those down and reassemble them, I'm me, Terry Alexander. I can be the team all by myself,
Right.
but I choose not to be. I
Mm.
choose to be a teammate. And that's because God has showed me from the Genesis to the present. He's equipped me to be a warrior for his kingdom, not the Marine Corps, not America, his kingdom. He
Yeah.
I went to the Marine Corps to learn how to be a warrior.
Yep.
Mind, body, and soul. That's the greatest fighting force in the world.
Mm.
Nobody can take that away from me. Like you said, JR, you knew my background. I was very passive aggressive as a kid. I didn't like it because I got in trouble when I got home. But what that caused me to suppress anger, and it came out and I almost killed somebody
Right.
right in front of my wife. So that moment let me balance everything in Virginia. One day she told me, "You scared me. I never thought you could be that angry." So all that anger and stuff you talk about, all of that, over all them years, from 5 to 43, that's how long you know me. From 5 to 43, North Long Beach, 67th and Galway. We was stealing oranges, apples, fruit, opening backyards, letting the dogs out. We was running. We was the fastest dudes in the neighborhood. You was the strongest dude in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, to now, it was all for this moment. I understand the calling and the purpose.
Mm.
I've been around the world, man. I've been to combat. And
Wow.
this is the hardest landmine, landfield to navigate, coaching young black boys, because there's so many absent black men.
Mm.
That is damn COVID. It's bad. It's bad, JR. So my journey, no father. Had the greatest father I could ever be gifted. No mother. She died of AIDS when I was a kid. Guess what? All these kids are losing their mom right now. I can talk them through it. They ain't got no daddy at home. I grew up without my biological pops. We got something to relate to. They scared of the real world. I was scared of the real world. They want to be a man. I'm showing them to be a man. All of that journey God put me through is for this moment. Thank you for the opportunity. That sums up Coach T, man. I'm just that same little boy trying to be a grown man for all these young boys to be better men than we were. And God is just allowing me to do it on his platform. I don't have to work. I don't have to struggle no more.
Here we go.
And it ain't financially, JR. It ain't. You know it. You know it. I'm at peace, bro. I'm at peace.
I see you. And that's why we align
God
so
got this.
that's why we align, what I'm saying, so much at the end of the day because, we have this story that we come from and it was about time. God told me, you know what, call you're my brother, bro. You're like my best friend. Like I feel disrespect when I say best friend. I see brother.
No,
I
we
see
brothers.
family. I see like you understand me and not to get emotional on me to what I'm saying to pour into you because this is the part where we wind down and I pour into you and this is a part of the segment of the show where I tell you I appreciate you and I really do. This is not sometimes I get conflicted because I have people that come in my life that 1 year, 1 month, 2 years, 5 years, and sometimes it's me and then I look at my friends like you, 39 years, 25 years friendship with other ones, 30, 40 years of friendship with other people. And it's like they just didn't understand you and they didn't love you. So I love you. I understand you. We cry together. We laugh together. We argue. You tell me the other day, "Hey, all right, I'm not scared of you no more." I'm like, bro, I never wanted you. I wouldn't mess with you anyway. I probably would die for
Yeah,
you before I even raise a finger towards you because I have never done that. I have always been your protector, and I will continue to do that. And
yeah,
now that you call me little big brother, and I just laugh about it because I have always been the aggressive one. But I know if something was to go down, you would make sure that my family's okay. And I appreciate you. I love you. I'm so proud
absolutely.
of you. I'm so proud of you and how you raise your family, your kids. And we're not perfect at all, but I'm so proud of how you handle
No,
things and how you coaching and all the situations that you go through. Thank you for being my friend, my brother, my family. Thank you for just being there when I needed it. Just what I'm saying, someone just to talk to. And thank you for understanding me when, sometimes I do get emotional because some of the homies, they don't take the time to learn and understand us. And it feels bad because it's like, damn, like, I really love you. I really care for you. I know you. A lot
yeah,
of you guys grew up with both your parents. There's a Vernell. Vernell don't have none of it. You know what I'm saying? Like me and you went together to go pick him up. Not, and my segment's about to end, but we went to go pick him up. He did a bid, so his life was different from ours. But he called us because he knew we was a stand-up individuals to go get him and bring him back to his mother, and his mother surprised his grandmother. That was I was emotional with that, and he don't have both his parents no more. He don't have his mom or his dad. So it's like, and then now he has a new baby girl. So shout out to Vernell Marshall and his new family, and my
That's my
godson
guy.
Amir. What's
Love
up?
Vernell. That's
You know,
V Dot.
Vernell,
I love V Dot.
that dude he's the most aggressive, but the most loving. If he loves you, he fucks with you. But if he don't love you, like you better leave him alone. And
He
I want
mayhem.
I want to give him his flowers because seeing him go through what he went through and the man he is today now. You know what I'm saying? If you call Vernell right now, he
True.
gonna pull up on you. You know what I'm saying? He gonna pull up
Pulling
on
up.
you, make sure you good. I just got off the phone with him yesterday, seeing his new baby girl. Shout out to him and his family. But I just wanted to say, you man, I'm proud of you, bro. And don't
Thank you.
stop and keep going. Jump off the porch. Start your coaching program. Start your hoodie program. You sell your hoodies. Do what you need to do, bro. It is time for
It's
Terry.
coming.
It's time for Terry to
It's coming.
activate your gift, and that's the part we know. Activate it. You're doing it right now by living your purpose, living your dream. And motivators, before we end, let's thank Terry, Mr. Alexander, Coach T, for popping online. Terry, real quick, leave us with your social media so they can follow you, and then I'm gonna end it.
It's at Coach T 100 on the Instagram. That's
Coach,
all it is. At Coach T. Yep. Lowercase T, and you'll see 100 behind it.
there you go, Coach T
That's
100.
all it is.
I'm so proud of you and motivators. Hey, thank you for listening to this show. Thank you for just understanding where we come from, Long Beach, California. Now we are 40-year-old men that are raising our families. I'm a motivational speaker. You're a coach. I can't wait to come motivate your students. Thank you so much for pulling up a seat to the motivators table out of your time. He's right now live at coach practice, and he took 45 minutes off to get on my live, on my LinkedIn, on my YouTube, on my Spotify, on my Apple to tell his story. Thank you, Terry. I appreciate you. I love you. I can't wait to see what God has next for you. I can't wait for you guys, my followers, my new followers, my old followers, everybody, my community, my chat. Hey, next episode is gonna be a bang. I can't wait to see you guys later, and I can't wait for you just to pull up with me. Boom.
Love you, bro.